Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the vlog. It is Thursday. I'm working. My plan is to work all day. I don't technically have like a bunch to ship out. I think I have 3 aprons and then 2 shirts. So, and I'm making a ribbon trim, and that should get me caught up. But then I do have, you know, other orders to work on. What am I making? Okay. And I have ideas, and I talked with my husband about it, and he's like, you know, it's up to you what you want to do. If that's what you feel like you want to do it. He's like, but he's like, I totally understand it. He's like, if I had a machine, I'm talking about my embroidery machine, so let me back up. Boop. So I told him that I was thinking of trading in the Amaya. They do trade-ins. And I Googled if they traded in, you know, old machines. As long as it's a Melco they trade in, it doesn't work. So I'm sure they, you know, it's their machines. They know what to do with it, and they know how to fix it if it's fixable. I don't even think they fix those, so they might just refurbish the parts or something. I don't know. But, you know, I don't know how much they give, if it's like $1,000 or if it's like, you know, $500, depending on what it is, you know. I don't when I got the other one, they were going to give, I don't remember how much off if I traded in the Bravo, and I don't remember how much for the Amaya. But in the back of my mind, it was like I could sell the Bravo for more than what they were saying. And so, and I did. I sold the Bravo for like $6,000. And I think their trade-in value might have been like $2,500 or something, or maybe $2,000. I don't even, I shouldn't even say that because I don't recall. Anyway, so I'm like, if I trade in my Amaya on a new Melco, sorry, I'm trying to something got all messed up here. And then I will have 2 working embroidery machines in there. I said, and I also want to fix the Ricoma. Now the Ricoma, if anybody watches me from my other vlogs, from my other channel, the cutter stopped working on it, and I need to replace. I'm like, this is like, am I cursed? Because the cutter stopped working on the Melco, and the cutter stopped, well, first the cutter stopped working on the Ricoma. So you have to trim every step. And because it's out here and I'm not sitting with it and I'm in there, you know, that's hard to do. So it hasn't really been fired up in quite some time. And so I told my husband, I was like looking around, and it's like, you know, supposedly easy to replace all the parts on the Ricoma, and then you can get a new cutter. And if this, I said, well, I want to look, and then there's one for sale, like there's a place to, hold on, there's a place that sells them. There we go. And so I'm like, well, if I replace that cutter, I can use it more as well. And I was like, and then if I trade in, you know, I can have more time. I was like, I'd, you know, get the job done faster. Therefore, I could have a faster production time. And maybe, you know, that faster production time might bring in more orders. And I said, and, you know, I would be able to make so much more stuff. what color am I going for? Purple. So he was like, you know, totally understandable if that's what, you know, he was like, I'm not gonna tell you no. He's like, you know, if you're making money, you know, I don't, he's like, if I had a guitar, I'll tell you what he said now. He's like, if I had a guitar and it cost me $1,000 and I didn't like the way it sounded or the way it ran, you know, played, or, you know, if there was something about it that I didn't like it, or, and I could trade it in and get so much off from this other guitar that I really wanted, that I knew I liked the way it sounded and played, and he was like, you know, I probably would do that. So, these are like goals I'm talking about. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen probably this month, next month. You know, it's just something in my future, something I want to happen in my future. And I think I went through this burnout without actually realizing I was going through a burnout in as far as like embroidery and work, and it got really busy in all of my businesses except for YouTube. But all of my other businesses, it got busy. And so we are just having all sorts of trouble here. And then when it calmed down, I was actually like kind of thankful it calmed down. And so I really wasn't like putting forth the effort to like better, like putting more stuff out on, you know, making new designs on in my Etsy shop, or, you know, I really wasn't doing any of that. And so amongst, you know, having other things going on in my life that, you know, cooking, cleaning, school, animals, and so then I was like, what is, you know, I felt led to maybe try something new. Like, what can I learn how to do? I learned how to do this and that, and, you know, what else can I learn to do? And I think I was just kind of searching for like something to spark something in me, just something, you know. And my husband's like, well, you can learn how to play the guitar, you can learn how to play the piano, we have plenty of them. We have my husband has a big keyboard and Sterling has a big keyboard, so he's like, we have plenty of them if you wanted to learn. And I thought, oh, you know, that might be kind of fun, you know, in the 7 minutes that I have on Thursdays to get, you know, not like I have time. But I think by moving my embroidery machine over to the other computer, and now it runs so much better, you guys, and it doesn't stop. Like, my thread rollers don't just stop randomly, and that would do that multiple times a day, at least once every stitch out. And so, you know, turning off your machine and turning on your machine is not good to do that to it. You know, it can, you know, over time wear it out. And so I'm having to do that over and over and over. And every time I'm like, this is going to be it. It's not going to start back up, you know. And then I have to go through the whole series of everything. And it just took so much time. So embroidering out stuff was not fun. It's like, I have to be there to cut every thread. I have to, you know, start and stop it. If the thread rollers just randomly stop, I have to just be right there with it so I can turn it on and turn it off. And it was just a lot. And I'm not trying to sound like, you know, some people would absolutely, if that's all they had to deal with, that's all they had to deal with. So now that my cutter is on its way, it should be here by Monday. I'm hoping it'll be here sooner, but we'll see. And then, like I said, I'm going to replace the cutter on, or I'm going to try to replace the cutter on the Ricoma and get that up and going, and I can use that. And then I even thought, well, if I do that and get that going, you know, maybe I'll move it in where the Amaya is in that room. I don't know if it should fit, but then I'm like, well, I'll have to move all this out and all that out and all this out. I'm like, do I really want to do that? And then, you know, I don't know. Then if I get the new Melco, then I'll have to move it back out. So I'm like, we'll see. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I'm kind of thinking like long-term, like investment and goals, and where do I want to take myself in 2026? Like, where do I want anyway, I just wanted to talk with y'all since I have been talking already with my husband and such. And so I'm in my pajamas. I'm like, I ate leftovers for lunch. Journey was fed lunch earlier. I'm just going to work. And my husband said, if you don't cook dinner tonight, that's fine. We got plenty of leftovers. So I think I'm going to take him up on the offer and not cook dinner tonight, and we'll just eat leftovers. And I'm going to clean. I'm going to embroider. I'm going to just piddle around until about 3:30, do school, and then eat leftovers for dinner, and then piddle around some more. So I think I'll just shower later. We'll see. It's 1:27 right now. So the main thing right now is to get the few orders that I need to get out. Hello everybody. I just got really sleepy. So I thought I better do my my Bible devotional. I actually was going to do another shirt. I like had every intention. It is 10:59 and my heat press does not work. My husband said it was something. Had the word therm in it. Not thermostat, not thermometer, not, it was like, I don't remember. He said it's something that tells it to keep it at a certain temperature. So I'm like, oh, well, isn't that special? So now I have to decide what I'm going to do, because I seriously cannot live without a heat press. Mainly the backing that I put on the back of my shirts. You know, for now I've got my iron, which I'm going to turn on. The iron does work, but it also is steamy. In the heat, this stuff does not require steam. It's just, I'm like, it's not one thing, it's another. I'm like, what gives? Oh, let me tell you how it happened too. I was like down here and I was like, I smell popcorn. I was like, and then it kind of smelled a little bit like burnt popcorn. And then Journey came down here and I said, somebody make popcorn? She's like, no. She's like, just kidding. Sissy did. I was like, oh, okay. You know. And I was like, man, I kind of want popcorn. And then, like, shortly after that, I was like, something smells weird. Like, something is on, like, hot. Something smelled really hot. And I'm like, what is that? And so I go out there. I had my burner on, my scent burner on out there. And so I turned that thing off. I'm like, something is definitely like hot. And so I come back in this room and I was like, it's in this room. And I happened to look and this thing was like 400 and something degrees. And I keep it at like 305. And so I'm like, and I did not, you know, touch it or tell it to go up or anything like that. So I was like, but the timer also has gone out. Like when you put your thing down, and it'll count down for like however you set it for, you know, 20 seconds, or that stopped working. So, and that's been going on for a while, like that had stopped working. So I would just, you know, press it and I would just count in my head, or, you know, like when I thought it was at least 20 seconds, then I would just go ahead and like lift it up. So I'm like, it's inevitable. I'm probably gonna need a new heat press. My husband's like, just see how, you know, see if you can find the part that they're, I don't know. He said they have the same like problems with 3D printers. They're whatever goes out in them, and so he's like, you probably get it replaced. I don't think I like at this point, like right now, I mean, I could probably turn it on and it might not happen again, but then again, I feel like if I turn it on, it might explode. That's just my brain. Everything in my life, everything's exploding. Like, I must have, like, you know, had something terrible happen to me, and that something exploded, because everything in my brain is like, it's like my Instant Pot, it starts making noises, I'm thinking it's gonna explode. Anyway, so I have to put, and I do it over here underneath my heat press because it's got the cushiony bottom, and yeah. But like I said, I'm gonna read my, and I am going to highlight from yesterday. I got, oh, sorry, you guys are on a, did you guys know you're on a tripod? I didn't get everything I needed to get done. There's 2 more aprons I have to get done. Actually, 4 more aprons I have to get done. Both of them are double orders. No, just kidding. 3 more aprons I have to get done. One is a double order and one is just a single order, but they both require purple aprons, and I ordered them, and I thought they would have been in today. I just got another order. Let me turn this. Okay, let me look, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna read this. I just got emotional thinking about my booby. That sounds bad. I just got emotional thinking about my booby. Our cat's name is Boo. Thinking about Boo. Thinking about little Boo. And it's funny because when you have a cat for so long, you're just so used to them, and like,
good night.
When they say like they train you, they train you. You know what I mean? They train you. And so it's just, I just can't believe she died. Like she's been here for so long that I just can't believe she's gone. Now, I may have mentioned before that, you know, she's old and she had dementia and kidney disease, and really she wasn't given that long to live. I was trying to think of when that, but it's like she got better, like, you know what I mean, she got better. And I thought, well, they were just wrong. You know, they were wrong, but I guess they weren't wrong anyway. It's just hard, but we're gonna read this. Take time to bless others. Everyone should not look to his own interests, but rather the interests of others. Philippians 2:4. I gotta do yesterday's too, which is Psalm 118:24. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick them. We're gonna go with this blue, and then we're gonna go with this bright pink, this dark pink. Hold on. I thought that was a message. What are we doing? We're going to do Psalm 118 from yesterday. And we're going to do that, I think, in pink. Unless we have something already highlighted on that page. Some. Okay, we don't. So we're going to do that in pink. That's 118:24, number 24. This from yesterday. Just let this be the lay. Let this be the lay. Let this be the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in. Okay, and then we're going to do blue for Philippians 2. FOA. And each of you should not look to your own interest, but also to the interest of others. I'm just gonna shut these over here. So there we go. Now we're gonna read this. A few of my friends and I volunteered to help some wheelchair-bound senior adults for a special day out. We transported them from their minibus into a beautifully decorated church banquet hall, a special program that had been planned in their honor. As I looked at the volunteer in front of me, I was amazed. He was one of the busiest men I know, and greatly admired by so many in our community. This much esteemed oncologist had taken time on his day off to come serve our senior adults. Later that morning, I saw him kneel beside one of the sweet ladies and talk to her for quite some time. In that moment, I saw kindness of Jesus flow through him. Oh, the incredible joy of taking time to bless others. Everywhere Jesus went, he blessed others. One day, he was traveling from village to village. I cannot. It's like brain and mouth and tongue do not like. After, you know, it's 11:36, so let's start again, shall we? Everywhere Jesus went, he blessed others. One day, as he was traveling from village to village proclaiming the good news, the crushing crowd gathered around him. A sick woman who was bleeding for 12 years pushed her way through the crowd. She believed it She believed if she touched the hem of Jesus' garment, she would be healed. Miraculously, she touched his garment. Her bleeding stopped. Immediately, Jesus interrupted his travel plan for the day and the agenda of the crowd and simply asked, "Who touched my clothes?" Mark 5:31. He stopped everything to acknowledge this woman in her faith. As you reflect on Jesus' example, he may prompt you to interrupt your own plans. Is there something or someone you need to focus on that's more important than your plans? Let us not become focused on our own agendas that we miss a blessing of blessing others. How does Jesus demand sacrificial living and giving? Lord, help me be sensitive to your prompting and be a blessing to someone today. Sorry, guys. That was just, like I said, some days this just does not work. Anyway, that was very nice. And you know, some days, like, you just gotta stop what you're, I think more or less, like with Journey, like, she's a very, if she needs your attention, she needs it now. You can't wait. You have to stop what you're doing and you have to give her your attention. And I always look at it like she won't always be like this, and this is just for a short time. And you know, she needs ya. If she needs ya, she needs ya. Anyway, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Battery's gonna die. Don't forget, Jesus loves you. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.
Good night. See you tomorrow. Jesus loves you.